Hello, we're back, everybody. So this week, guys, it's gonna be a great one. My hair is a mess, but it's okay. We are talking about CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. What the frig is that, right? What the frig is that? Well, we are going to explain it all in somewhat detail. I'm gonna fixing my camera here. I'm going to try to, explain to you in as great detail as I can so that you guys can understand. I'm going to take all the technical terms out as much as we can so it's easier for everybody to understand what this is all about and why it's important for you to use cognitive behavioral therapy, why it's going to help you, how it's going to change your life, all of these things. So this is today's discussion. So thank you for tuning in. And today, again, we're exploring cognitive behavioral therapy, so don't worry, get relaxed. You're about to have a great awakening to an understanding of therapy that will help you to find you. So what is CBT? First question. Okay, so what's the deal with CBT anyways? Because, we are hearing a lot of people around the world who use CBT. There's a lot of CBT therapists on their own. Within rapid transformational therapy, which is what we do at this company, we use cognitive behavioral therapy mixed with neurolinguistic programming, psychotherapy, and hypnotherapy, all combined so that we can bring you full-on healing. And this, what we're talking about today, is just a small portion of what we do. And it's full of amazing stuff. So I want you guys to hear all about this, okay? It's like having your own mental health superhero. That's what CBT basically is. It stands for cognitive behavioral therapy. I just gave one of my clients this course who was in his brain too much. He's an overthinker, and this is helping him to figure out his thought patterns, figure out, the patterns, exactly that, what's going on in his world and all of those sorts of things. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about understanding your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and how those are all connected with your actions. Okay, so think of this as your super secret superpower for your mind. Okay, that's what this is. Hi, everybody who's just joining. I'm seeing everybody coming on right now. Hi to Azim and Mark and Trail. Oh, what's that last one? I can't read that last name. Sorry, it starts with a T. Anyways, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. Okay, so basically imagine having a handy toolkit that helps you to navigate through life's challenges. That's what CBT is all about, basically. It's going to help you through life's challenges. So we're going to break it down for you so that we can talk about this and why you want to do this stuff, why you want to do the extra homeworks that we have, because they're going to be total game changers for you. So stick with us till the end of this show today, and you're going to find out everything. So what are the core principles of cognitive behavioral therapy? So, okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Okay, we're talking about core principles, but it's not that complicated, so don't really worry about that too much. It's all about three key things, okay? Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. That's what cognitive behavioral therapy is generally about, okay? So these are like puzzle pieces. And when they fit together, they can make things better, or sometimes they can make things a bit more challenging if you're not working your program properly, right? And so in this part, what we're doing is we're unraveling how these pieces work together and how they're going to influence each other. So it's like uncovering a secret code for your mind. So let's explore your puzzle right now, guys. Okay, so what we're talking about is the cognitive behavioral therapy toolkit. So have you ever wished that you had that magic toolbox to deal with whatever life's ups and downs are? So CBT kind of gives you exactly that. Inside the toolkit is where some pretty neat stuff is happening. You can learn some pretty great strategies to help you improve on your life. And so what we're going to take a peek at here is exactly that. It's about why we do the little things that we do. And it's a little bit of homework that you're going to have to do if you take this course. But it's worth it, guys, because it's going to bring you towards some really, really cool things. So what you're going to find out is you're going to discover some practical tools that can make a big difference in your day-to-day life. So it's your mental superhero toolkit. Okay, and it's waiting for you. Basically, all you gotta do is pick it up. So what it's doing is the power of reconstructing your negative thoughts. Okay, so what happens is, we all know that we get really pesky negative thoughts in our minds. And sometimes it gets out of control. But guess what? With the CBT, it actually helps you to tackle these issues head on so that you're not rolling them over and over again in your brain, right? They instantly get resolved for you because now you're coming up with answers rather than just replaying over and over the same story again in your mind. So what we're doing is we're exploring those negative thoughts and we're turning them into something a lot more positive. So it will make a real difference in your day-to-day life and that sort of thing. So these are real examples of people. We can tell you real examples of people, who used the cognitive behavioral therapy. I've used it to try to change everything in my life. And that's exactly what it did. It helped me to understand my thought patterns, why I was in the loop and all of that sort of stuff. So it helps you to get out of that. So it's going to help you to learn how to become the master of your own thoughts, right? And it's going to let you positively shine through with your mindset. It helps you to develop a more positive mindset so that you're not constantly rolling through that negativity. And you'll actually see the patterns of that negativity. So what it's doing is it's like a behavioral modification, okay? So sometimes we all have habits and actions that maybe we want to change a little bit. I hear that a lot, that people are kind of repeating stuff and in the same pattern, and they just want to change it. And so that's where this steps in to help you. Okay, it comes in extremely handy for you to be able to change the game for yourself. So what it's going to do is it's going to offer you cool techniques that will be gradual exposure to the realities of what's going on with you. So it's like facing your fears in tiny little manageable steps. So you're not being hit head on with your issues. You get to kind of do one issue at a time, one thought at a time. And from that one thought, you can then figure out your patterns. Okay, that's what it's going to help you to do. So it's tiny little baby steps at a time. And again, it's like you've got your own superhero that's helping you move through the world of therapy. That's what it's doing, okay? So it's going to help you to harness your thoughts and understand them so that you can get some behaviors out of the way. And you can tweak and change whatever you want through these steps. And so what it does is it helps you with emotional regulation, okay? So the ever popular emotions that seem to take over our lives, and, fear, sadness, happiness, whatever. These emotions can take us over. And so one minute you might be up, the next minute you might be down, right? And that's where CBT comes in as the rescuer to your life, because it's going to help you understand why that's happening, why you're having these ups and these downs. It's going to help you to see what is going on with all of that stuff. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to explore simple but very, very powerful techniques that can help you rid those emotional roller coasters and make your life a lot more smooth to navigate. So these techniques will teach you how to manage your feelings, the big feelings and the little feelings. So whether it's stress, anxiety, or something entirely different, the idea is it's going to help you to manage whatever's going up in your noggin, right? It's going to help you figure that stuff out. So get ready to learn how to be the captain of your own ship, your emotions, right? And you're going to use the CBT to help you to do that. And it's all about smooth sailing from there, right? So basically, a way better way to understand cognitive behavioral therapy is by looking at some real life transformations. So eventually we're going to talk about some transformations that CBT has done, but already what it's doing for my one client that's using it right now. We've got a few clients in there using it, but this one's very vocal about what's going on. And he says it's this new powerhouse. He is incredibly grateful for this course because it helps him to get that overthinking under control. And yeah, he still has negative thoughts. He still has a few things going on upstairs, but it's not taking control of him anymore. And so that's the idea of what we want to do, right? We want to integrate CBT into your life. And so basically what we do here, because we're using rapid transformational therapy, we're integrating with the CBT and all of the other toolkits or tools in our toolkit for rapid transformational therapy. So what it does is it's going to help you to get out of your shell, to make new friends, to excel at your job, to have better conversations with your family, better communication roles with your family, because it's going to allow you to understand your thought process. And so basically, if you want powerful results, you want to use a course like cognitive behavioral therapy course, an NLP course, anything of those natures that are going to help you to gain more of what's going on up here. Okay, so here's where everything gets really exciting. CBT can work pretty darn fast, okay, to make you feel better about yourself and your thought patterns because you're starting to understand your patterns, right? So it's not about getting a quick fix though. It is about understanding yourself. So if that's your goal, that's what this is going to do. It's going to help you to absolutely do that. And so we're going to show you how it's not just about the here and now, but it's also about giving you skills to keep you on track, to keep you feeling good, to keep you, in that high vibration in the long run. That's what we want. We don't want just temporary, tiny little fixes. We want things to last a long time. And that's what we do at this company here at hypnos-ypnos Therapies is we actually help people to gain long-term healing, right? And this is part of the toolkits that I use. I use my CBT course, which we do have free for all of you guys right now in the Happiness Journey group. So if you want to have a hack at that course, give it a shot, let me know and I'll give you free access to that course right now. It's going to be free for the next little while before we start to sell it. So if you want it, now is the time to grab it, you guys, okay? So if you're looking for that large transformation, tiny transformation, whatever it is, CBT has got your back. Okay, so some of the challenges you might want to consider. Okay, so hang on, guys. I'm losing my place in my notes here. All right. So let's go to what CBT really is, okay? Because it's a structured evidence-based psychotherapy that focuses on helping individuals identify and change negative thought patterns. That's what you're doing. You're changing your thought patterns, your beliefs, your behaviors, all of that stuff. It's working to change that, okay? So it's a goal-oriented approach that's aimed at addressing a wide range of emotional, behavior, and psychological issues. That's what we're working on. That's what we're helping you to do. Okay, so some of its widespread use. It's not limited just to clinical settings, okay? It's also found in applications in schools, in workplaces, self-help programs, all of these sorts of things. They do use aspects of the cognitive behavioral therapy. So if you've gone through any sort of self-help, any therapy, any after-school stuff that helps you to grow as a person, you're going to come across probably some CBT and some NLP course work. So it can be delivered in individual aspects or as a group. It can be online. It's about accessing a broad audience a lot of the time for all of this stuff because we want the more people that are using it, the better. So you want to make sure, though, when you do go to someone who's practicing this, that they are an established therapy person, a therapy, whether you're seeing a counselor, whether you're seeing a rapid transformational therapist or, a psychotherapist or whatever it is you're seeing, you want to make sure that you understand who they are, that they are experienced in what you are suffering from, and they can help you. Because that's what this is for. This approach is helping you to be empowered. It's empowering the individuals to understand and change their thoughts, their behaviors, their actions, all of these things, okay? Your emotions, all of this stuff gets taken control. So again, it's evidence-based, it's versatile, and it's a widely adopted tool around the world in a lot of things that we're doing. So some of the fundamental principles of CBT, okay, so really there are the internal dialogues of beliefs that every individual has about themselves, right? And those thoughts can be rational, they can be irrational, positive or negative. So what we're doing is we want you to have good feelings, happy feelings. Emotions are a natural response to arise in reaction to our thoughts, right? These emotions can range from happiness to contentment to anxiety to anger to frustration to whatever it is. The idea is you want to take control of your noggin so that these emotions don't have control over you. That's what we're using the CBT course for. So it's going to help you get your behaviors under control, because all behaviors are just actions and reactions to follow our thoughts and our feelings. And so if your thoughts and feelings are on a constant roll and it's all negative, well, that's going to cause some issues for you. You're going to end up in that negative slide. Hi again to everybody who's joined. Thank you for all the hearts and likes and all of these sorts of things. It's good to see you all here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask anything you want. We're talking about cognitive behavioral therapy today. That is what we are discussing. So we want to understand how CBT helps individuals to understand the connection between themselves and their thought patterns and the outcome, right? Because a lot of people, how do I say this? A lot of people seem to separate their actions with the outcome. We get a lot of people online. You'll see it a lot on TikTok, a lot on Instagram. You're going to see it where people are, this is my life. This is what's happening. I can't figure out why. And meanwhile, all of their actions, their thought patterns, everything they've done, their emotions, the lack of dealing with those things are what caused the mess that they're in today. But they can't associate the two because they won't accept responsibility. Cognitive behavioral therapy actually helps you to see where you are responsible with your own actions, and it helps you to learn how to change those actions. So it's like thought identifications, right? CBT encourages individuals to become aware of their thought patterns, even though the use of thought, maybe diaries or journaling, those are all great. You can do all of that, but there's a difference in the CBT course, because it's actually going to be like that friend that's sitting there asking you all the right questions to figure out if you are going towards the right track, if you are doing things for the right reason, right? That's what it's doing. So this process will help you recognize automatic negative thoughts, which are called ants, by the way, and wherever your distorted thinking is happening. It's going to help you to figure all of that stuff out. So we want to explore emotions is what we want to do. So this is not about running away, which a lot of people do that. They run from their emotions and then they blame everybody else because they're triggered by other people just living their lives, but it's not other people's fault you get triggered. It's because you won't work on your damn shit. So work on your freaking issues and you won't get triggered. So there's that part. That's why I don't feel bad. I mean, I might sound rude here, guys. I do not feel bad for people who get triggered at all. I don't even feel bad for when I get triggered. I don't want somebody to feel bad for me when I get triggered, because that's something I need to work on. Getting triggered by something means that you need to work on you. Not that somebody else needs to change their behaviors or patterns or their thoughts or anything like that. Nobody needs to change jack crap for you. If you are triggered, you need to change, not somebody else. So when I'm looking at all these kids out there right now who are going around saying, I'm triggered, I'm hurt, I'm emotional, then work on your fucking shit. Stop bringing your crap to other people's world. Sorry for swearing, guys, but seriously, stop bringing your crap into other people's lives and expecting them to fix you. That's victim mentality. And this CBT course here, that's going to help you get out of that victim mentality. Okay, because that's what that is. Life isn't about emotions. You can't live on emotions. You can't expect everybody else to accept your emotional babble and be kind to you because of it. Because you get triggered, you have emotional issues, you won't work on your stuff. Guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody, not even one person cares that you aren't working on your shit. You need to care about that. Nobody's going to change you but for you. Right? Just like when I was grumpy for, let's go with 15 years. Really grumpy because I was in a lot of pain. I was sick all the time. Bad things were happening in my life. Nothing was rolling in my direction. So I was that person who was sitting there all the time grumpy, who was sitting there all the time, pointing out other people's errors, getting triggered by everything. Somebody would say something, it would trigger me. I'd start to cry, whatever. That's because I was emotionally unstable. As soon as I got my mindset straight, as soon as I understood my thoughts and how they correlated with my actions, that changed everything. Absolutely everything. So this is what we're talking about today. If you know somebody who's living in their emotions, send them over here. We'll fix that bad boy real fast. We'll fix them. Because guys, if you're getting triggered, that's why, let me put this to you this way. Children, animals, friends, life, all brought into your life to help you to grow to be your best self. I got a dog. My dog, she's a husky coyote. She's not around here right now, but she's a husky coyote. And this dog, in the first year I got her, she was a 2-year-old dog when I got her from the pound. So she was quite wild because she came from up north. And fudge, for that whole year, guys, I spent most of my days looking for her because I'd take her for walks, take her off the leash at the dog park, and she was gone. 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, gone. She'd always come back to the starting point, but she was out checking out the world, right? That triggered me. That triggered my anger, my frustration. I started to cry a lot. A lot of stuff was happening. The reason that dog was brought into my life was because I needed to learn how to grow from those emotions. And now you fast forward 6 years I've had her, and guess who doesn't get frustrated anymore? Guess whose anger is subsided? Guess who's happier now? Why? Because she taught me that. She wouldn't come near me until I figured it all out, until I changed who I was. That's what getting triggered means. When you get triggered, it means you need to work on you, not that somebody else needs to change what they're doing. Hell no. Because guess what? Everybody on the planet has different ideas of how they want to live their life. They have different ideas of what they believe life should be like. They have different ideas on everything. It's hard to find, billions and billions of people in the same mind frame. So don't expect that. Don't expect change people to suit you. Instead, you change you. So you're not being triggered by those who aren't like you, right? It's a cognitive reconstructing. That's what we're doing. Once connection is understood, so the CBT provides the tools, the techniques to challenge you, to reframe those negative thoughts, those irrational thoughts, right? This process empowers individuals to replace those unhelpful thought patterns that are really screwing up their lives, right? That's what you want to do. CBT encourages individuals to test their beliefs and their behaviors in real life situations. So by doing so, they're going to help you gather evidence, to challenge and modify your thinking and your behavior. Do you notice nowhere in this conversation have I said this is going to help you to change somebody else? Why? Because you're not here to change other people. And if you're trying to change other people, you're on the wrong path. Life is about fixing you, becoming the best version of you, not getting in a relationship with someone until you are close to being that best version of you. Because otherwise you're just pulling in a bunch of trigger warnings. Let's call them trigger warnings. People who will set you up for failure, people who will help you stay a failure, and people who will likely not help you to grow. Now, there is the 1% of people out there that you'll meet at your lowest who, that person will help you to become your best version. But usually when you meet someone and you're at your lowest, you are meeting, Satan's spawn for you. Okay. And by that, what I mean is you are meeting the one person in the world who's going to accept you at your lowest, at wherever you are. That's probably because that person either is at their lowest vibration as well. So if they don't want to change themselves, they're going to pick someone else who's got the same flaws, equivalent flaws, and match that. So you can't pick on me because of all your flaws. So that's why I'm picking you. My brother used to tell me that actually, that's why he picked some of his girlfriends, was because of that. They would never ask him to grow up and change and to become a better human being because they were broken themselves. That's what a lot of people are doing out there, you guys. I know a lot of friends and family in my world who that's how they chose their partner. This person is in the same shit world I am, so they must be great for me. No, actually, the idea is stay freaking single until you start to grow, until you love yourself. And until you love yourself 100% and you don't need someone else, you shouldn't have anybody in your life. That's where cognitive behavioral therapy is going to help you fix that stuff. So if you're thinking years and years and years that you're going to have to be alone, no. It's about working the program. And if you work the program within 2 or 3 months, you could be ready, fixed up, and off on the dating world trying to find that love of your life. Okay? Because again, when you're at your lowest, you find people who want to keep you there because they are maybe narcissists and they like the people at the bottom, or they feel that they are at the bottom as well. At the bottom, when I say bottom, I mean bottom vibrations, okay? The lowest vibration possible. Those people, they like to keep you there. It's like a little prison. That's where they're going to keep you. So if you are trying to date, if you're trying to make new friends, any of this stuff, when you are at your lowest, you are likely running into the wrong people often. Not, if you go to a self-help group and you're making new friends there, maybe not, because you're going to find people who are in the same like-minded frame as you. So you can meet people who are on the same growth pattern as you. Great. But just don't date if you're still not loving you, because you're just going to attract the person who's going to be there to teach you lessons. You will not be attracting the right person for a future life partner, a forever partner, okay? You'll never, ever find that person if you're at your lowest shopping for a partner. So that's why you want to use the cognitive behavioral therapy course within a couple of months. You'll have your noggin all fixed up and you'll be ready to go out into the world and start dating again. So it's about actively engaging with these principles, and then you get to enjoy the gains of the CBT course itself. So that's where you get to understand your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, and how they're all interconnected. So, okay, what else have we got here? We've got different techniques. Okay, let's talk about the techniques of CBT, because there's a bunch of different ways to incorporate CBT into your life. So we've got the first one, which is cognitive reconstructing. Reconstructuring. We're going to go with that word because that's the one that's coming out of my face right now. So cognitive restructuring. There we go. This technique involves identifying the challenge and challenging the negative thoughts and those irrational thoughts. Okay, so that's what that is. The reconstruction or restructuring, of your cognitive mind is about identifying where the problem starts. So that's where you learn to replace those thoughts with more realistic and positive ones. And again, that process, it happens over time. It's not instant. One day you've got it, one day you don't have it, and the next day you do. That's not how it works. You got to work your way into it. It's a behavioral change. It takes a minute. So this is where we talk about the behavioral activation. That's step number 2 within this process and techniques. And that's where it focuses on increasing engagement in positive activities to counteract the depression or to improve the mood, right? So if you're that person who stays home a lot and you're miserable and sad, well, get the hell out of your house. Go have fun. Go meet people. There's tons of activities on any social media calendar that you can find that you will like, that you might want to take part in. That's what you want to do. You want to go and find some activities that you like and start getting out of your own way. I told my clients recently who basically stay home and overthink, get out, go out of your house once a day to go for a walk, be with nature, take your shoes off. First of all, go with nature and start grounding yourself. That's going to be the first thing you want to do. And by grounding yourself, we mean take your socks and shoes off and put your feet on the mud, on the grass, on the ground. Let nature feed you energy, because that's what it's going to do. Okay, so go ahead and do that. That's a good start. And then you're going to activate yourself through these changes, which we are going to do within the session itself, where we start to activate everything for you. Okay, so you're going to get the exposure to the therapy, which most CBT is commonly used for anxiety. People love to use it for anxiety. It's really, really good for that. It's good for overthinking, people who overthink. Also good for depression, because people who are depressed, they tend to only see the negative. So this is going to help you to see the lie that you're telling yourself, but as well, it's going to help you to see the positive stuff that can come of when you change your mindset. So it's going to help you to see the reality around you, that it's not all negative. There is some positive stuff within that, okay? So what it's going to do is it's going to help you to confront and gradually reduce all of your fears, your phobias, because we're exposing you to feared stimuli in a controlled manner. which means, so for some cognitive behavioral therapy, which I don't do this part, but I shouldn't say I don't do that. I do it, but I don't do it. We have to kind of put you in with the problems. So let's say you have a fear of spiders, we're going to make you sit with spiders, right? If you have a fear of heights, we're going to put you in a tall building. If you have a fear of public speaking, guess what we're going to make you do, right? So right now we have a client who has fears of meeting new people, making new friends. They don't think they're good enough. So my homework for them is to get a big ass sign that says free hugs. Go out to a community area where there's a lot of people just strolling around with your big ass sign and start giving away free hugs. First of all, the hugs, the touching, the human contact is going to change up here. It's going to start allowing you to feel better because it's activating those emotions that you need for that. And the words are really losing my brain right now as to what I want to say for that. But you understand what I mean, I'm sure, if I'm simplifying it like this. That you're getting kind of like an adrenaline rush, you're getting an endorphin rush. A whole pile of things are happening when you're hugging other people, when you're talking to other people. And I've told this story before. I was in the hospital with when my mom was there. And I was about to go up to her room, but I was at the front desk asking for what room she was in. The lady behind the hug, I wish the lady behind the hug. The lady behind the desk, she looked sad. She looked as sad as I felt inside. So I asked her if I could have a hug because I needed one. And she's like, oh my God, I haven't been hugged all day. So she came out from around the desk and gave me this monster ass hug. But there were 2 or 3 other people behind that desk that heard me say that to her. And all of them were lining up for a hug with me after that. And then more people, like more staff came around. They're like, why is everybody hugging? So we told them we all just needed hugs. We looked sad. So then I ended up with 7 staff members coming to give me a hug at that hospital. And as I was going to the 6th person, I believe, to give the hug, a group of my family, 6 members of my family walked in and they all came. And then next thing you know, everybody's all hugging. And so it was a big hug fest up in that hospital because hugs are contagious. So that's what we want you to do. Exposure therapy. That's what it is. If you have an issue with something, you go and expose yourself to it in a safe way, of course. So that's one idea. So that's what we're going to do with CBT courses as well. So you could do that on your own if you'd like, or you could wait for somebody to help you and push you towards going out there and really exposing yourself to the issue. The same thing if you have fear. They say jump towards that fear. That's what the exposure therapy is, jumping towards that fear. So you're also going to learn mindfulness and relaxation. These are techniques like we know mindfulness meditations. Okay, so you get a lot of the audios with that. We're going to teach you deep breathing, all of these sorts of things. You get to learn all of those exercises. It's going to help you to manage your stress, reduce anxiety, and it's going to bring on self-awareness as well. And of course, it offers you amazing problem-solving skills. So if you sucked at that before, you're not going to suck at that anymore. Let me tell you. Oh, I had lunch earlier, guys. I'm belching. Apologies. Okay, so if you were bad at problem solving prior to this, you won't be after this because it's actually giving you a systematic approach to problem solving, and it's going to show you some techniques that'll help you to address all of your life's challenges more effectively, right? So you're not alone on this path anymore. You've actually got your CBT course with you. So there's assertiveness training as well that comes with it. So for those who are struggling with communication or interpersonal issues or anything along those lines, this is going to help you to express your needs, your desires, and it's going to help you to be more assertive. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there right now who are listening to this who really, really, really want to be more assertive in life. Come see me. I will help you. All right. So we do also give you a lot of homework assignments. My clients get homework assignments doing NLP stuff, CBT stuff. They get to go out and, give hugs, stuff like that. So different homework assignments for each individual. So if you say, what are their homework assignments? Well, guess what? I can't tell you until I know you, until we're talking about your issues, because each individual issue gets its own homework assignment. So this isn't, everybody comes in and gets the same treatment. No, not where I am at, not at hypnos-ypnos. That's not what we do here. We give you homework assignments. So each individual homework assignments. So basically we evolved the practice of CBT techniques. So between your therapy sessions, you'll be doing some homeworks at home, and those assignments will actually reinforce and allow you to apply these CBT skills into your daily life. So that's what it's going to do. And the importance of the homework assignments and self-monitoring is of all importance. Like, that is the utmost important. In fact, if you're not doing the homework, you can expect probably not to grow at all. If you think you can just go to your therapist once a week and your whole life is going to change, well, you're freaking wrong, because that means you're a victim and you're expecting someone else to save you. Cognitive behavioral therapy and neurolinguistic programming are about you saving yourself. Oh yeah, it's about you figuring your own self out. And oh, how about that, guys? Guess what? The name of the course, the cognitive behavioral therapy course that I sell, or that I'm giving away to you guys free today, is called the CBT course in figuring yourself out. And that's literally what it's called. So it is incredibly important to do the homework that we give you. And here's why. Because first of all, it's going to do the skills practice, okay? So homework assignments provide you with an opportunity to practice the CBT techniques and to learn from the therapy that you get once a week, or however often you're going to your therapist. So this practice is essential for people who want to acquire skills and master them. Because the only way you can master something is if you are practicing it, which means you have to do the homeworks, right? So put 100% effort into this and you'll see your life changing within a month, 2 months. You'll see the changes. It's also going to, okay, so CBT techniques, they're going to help you to, I don't even know what to say here. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Homework assignments are going to encourage all people to use this cognitive behavioral therapy strategies outside of their therapy room and inside of the therapy room. It's going to help you to learn to be self-responsible. So the homework is actually going to foster a sense of self-responsibility and an agency in the therapeutic process. So you gain your superpowers that way by doing the homework. And again, it takes you out of that victim mentality and it puts you into the superhero training role. And that's where you want to be. You want to be a superhero in training. Absolutely. So it's going to empower these individuals to take action in their lives and in the treatment of themselves as well. And so then that's where you start doing some self-monitoring. So keeping track of your thoughts and emotions and behaviors through self-monitoring helps you to identify all of your patterns, all of those triggers, and the progress that you're making. So I tell my clients all the time, again, keep journals. Keep journals of what you've accomplished today, what changes you had, what you're grateful for, what you need to work on. You want to keep always writing this stuff down so you're monitoring. It's kind of like an Excel spreadsheet for your brain, right? You want to monitor how well you're doing every single day. You can do that through journaling. You could do that through whatever you want to do, little videos if you want to do them, whatever the case may be. But you do want to self-monitor so that you know the progress that you are making, because it's going to enhance, the CBT course will enhance your self-awareness, and it's going to also help your therapist in tailor-making your treatment for you. Because if you're working on your stuff, if you're doing the cognitive behavior therapy course, they can actually tailor-make something for you that's going to help move things faster. Okay, maybe not all cognitive. If you're just working with somebody who only does cognitive behavioral therapy, no, they won't be able to speed it up. But if you're working with a rapid transformational therapist like me, yes, we can. We can, because we have other tools in our toolkit that we can add to this CBT course itself that will help you to become your best version of yourself. So what it's going to do is it's also going to give you long-term benefits, right? So the homework assignments promote that long-term benefit that you're being equipped with over time. So like anything, like hypnosis, like learning at school, like anything, repetition matters. So doing the homework on repeat matters. If you start doing that, things start to change. So what we're going to be doing with CBT also is we're going to be reconstructing all of your negative thought patterns. That's the entire process of this whole thing. So let's explore how we do that. So the first thing is we identify the issue. I mean, clearly that's what you want That's what y'all want to do. So in the CBT course itself, you will be identifying where the issue comes from. And you're going to be doing that through the series of questions that we've got placed there for you. You'll be able to identify where it started, why it's contributing to the distress in your life, and how it is an unhealthy behavior. You'll be able to discover all of that through the paperwork that we're giving you. As well, these thoughts often involve, cognitive distortion, such as catastrophic thinking. Or the black and white thinking, that's also a bad one. So it's going to help you to actually personalize everything and figure it out, right? So that you're not lost in the lies that we tell ourselves, basically. Because once you have it on paper, once you see everything, once you answer all those questions that we've got in a row, it's actually going to help you see where you're lying to yourself, and you won't be able to do that anymore. So it's going to give you that self-examination that you need, that we all need, to find out where we are going wrong with ourselves. So once you've identified these negative thoughts, you get to examine the evidence that's there for its accuracy, and then you get to ask more questions. You're encouraged to ask more questions to your mind. So questions like, is this thought-based or is it a fact, right? Is this just my brain running through, garbage that I can't get rid of, or are these the facts? And that's where we tell you in making lists, right? You write down the thought pattern that you have, and on the next side, you write down the freaking truth. Because usually the negative thoughts that you're getting aren't the truth. So you write down the complete opposite of that, and that's usually the truth. Okay? And that's where the challenge starts, right? So this is where you're going to be challenging your mind to restructure the dialogue within yourself, within your mind. That's where your therapist helps you a lot. That's where we help you within hypnosis. We're going to help you to restructure everything in your brain, right? So all the thoughts that are up in your noggin, that's what we're going to help you to restructure, to change, to figure out, so that they aren't challenging you anymore, right? But that means you have to actually do the coursework to figure it out, because it's going to help you to find another alternative to whatever thought patterns you have, a more balanced perspective, if you will, is what it's going to give you. So it's going to help you then do replacement, which is the next step. It's the final step. And this involves replacing all of those irrational beliefs with more rational, constructive beliefs. And this process often leads to reduced emotional stress and more adaptive behaviors. So it allows you to change yourself. So these are the steps you're taking within the program itself, all by yourself. That's what you're going to be doing. So let's talk about, let's say you're trying to overcome social anxiety, okay? So a person with social anxiety often suffers the negative thoughts like, everyone will judge me, I'll embarrass myself, something like that. Now, if they're using the CBT course, what it's going to do is it's going to challenge their thought patterns so that they can test the accuracy of those thoughts, and then they can replace them with a more balanced belief system, something more realistic. So instead of saying, everyone will judge me, they might go instead say, some people may judge me, but not everyone will, and I really don't care. You see how that statement is different? They took control. They took the power, because in the other statement, everyone will judge me, you are giving your power away to everyone around you. When you say it, some people might judge me, not everybody will, and I don't care. You take back control of everything in your life. Hi, Bridget. Hi, everybody on board. Thanks for joining. We're talking about cognitive behavioral therapy, and we're talking about the next one, managing depression. So let's say you were to use the cognitive behavioral therapy to manage depression, okay? So someone experiencing depression may be getting those reoccurring thoughts of, I'm worthless, I can't do anything right. You know how devastating that is to your body, your mind, your soul. Everything shuts down when you start saying these things to yourself. So CBT actually helps you to challenge those thought patterns, and it's going to help you to change them. So you'll go from I'm worthless to I have strengths and achievements. Okay? I can learn from my mistakes. It's not I can't do anything right. I can learn from my mistakes. Because guess what? Mistakes failure is the first attempt in learning. So there are really no such thing as those types of mistakes. The only mistakes people make is when they repeat a mistake. That makes it a mistake. Otherwise, you're just learning. So don't consider, it as a mistake, because you are literally just learning. And so that's what we want to do. We want to change your thought patterns. So you are changing the words you say to yourself. I use a lot of words like yet. I'm not there yet. I can't do that yet, right? Because if I just said I can't do that to somebody, if they're like, oh, do you know how to do this? No, I don't. I can't do that. Well, that just means I put a full stop on my brain saying, no, you're never going to do that. But if I say I can't do that yet, my brain goes, oh, what, yet? Oh, does that mean we have something to learn? Yes, it does mean you have something to learn, brain. And then it goes ahead and it picks it up and it learns it. So that's what you kind of want to do. So even if you're overcoming a phobia, let's say, same thing. This plane's going to crash. This plane's going to crash. No, the plane's not going to crash. You have to say to your brain, all air travel is statistically safe. More safe than being in a car, in fact. More safe than being hit by lightning, in fact. You could say stuff like that. So you're transferring, you're saying the real story about all of that. So, we want to identify those problematic behaviors. Again, that's what the CBT is doing for you. It's going to identify. It's going to help you to set behavioral goals as well. So you're going to be able to collaboratively set up those goals with your therapist, or you could do it on your own as well. But these goals should be specific. They're going to be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. It's called SMART. Okay, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART. Okay, that's what you want to do when you are setting your goals. So again, I have a goal right now for my company to, in the next 5 to 10 years, I want to make it to $500 million, right? And have 100 staff members under us. That's a huge goal. But do you think I actually look at that big goal when I'm waking up every single day going, well, I got to make that goal? No, I'm not. I'm looking at the goals as, what do I need to do this week to make myself get closer to that main goal? Right? So this week I have to make sure that my staff are on par. I have to make sure that I'm ever growing. I have to make sure the KPIs are going well within the staff, all of these sorts of things. You want to do baby steps. So what I'm trying to do right now is not get to $500 million and 100 staff members. I am trying to get to, $1 million or $2 million and 5 staff members or 10 staff members, and learn how to deal with that. That's my little thing right now. Before I even got there, my only thing was learning how to be able to talk to people on camera and to be able to express myself on camera like this. That was my only goal. That's all I had to do. Baby steps. When I was first starting out, if I had looked at this whole project as, holy crap, I got to reach over there, I never would have continued. I would have gotten discouraged in the first few months when I was crying my ass off, having a hard time, feeling discouraged, feeling like a failure, feeling like an imposter. I would have left. But because I separated, it's called the Pomodoro effect, by the way. When you separate things into smaller sections, then you can easily manage them. Okay, so the Pomodoro tells you to break it down into 25-minute segments of work, that sort of stuff. You can do it that way. Any project, any life project, you break it down into smaller pieces, and it makes it easier to manage with your brain, because your brain doesn't go overwhelmed at the enormous task that you have to accomplish, right? So that's basically what you want to do. So you want to set those behavioral goals, and that's where SMART comes in. And then you're going to develop behavioral strategies as well. So the CBT actually equips you to modify your behaviors to include reinforcement, exposure therapies, systematic desensitizations, stuff like that. These are all important. And over time, you do want to do most of that stuff with somebody you can trust, like a therapist or your best friend, your mom, whatever. But you want to make sure that when you are doing desensitizations or exposure therapy, that you have somebody with you. You're not alone in case you panic and pass out or choke on your tongue or something from fear, whatever. You just want to make sure you're not alone when you're doing stuff like that. So make sure you have somebody you can trust that is with you. And again, gradual exposure and reinforcement can reshape all of your behaviors. That's what a lot of CBT is about, is the gradual exposure to the new techniques that you're going to need. The more you use it, the more you change, the better life becomes. It helps to reinforce everything. So it's going to help to reward the desired behaviors to increase them. and to increase the frequency of those behaviors, because you're doing positive reinforcement on those behaviors. So that's what you kind of teach yourself. You do it with children all the time, right? We reinforce children all the time on how they're speaking, how they're behaving. We give them treats. I do it with my dog. That's my children's. You know, when you're training a dog, you give it a treat. Good dog, shake a paw. Here's a treat. Same idea to you. You're going to do the same thing and reinforce yourself. Of course, we're not going to do treats because you'll end up like huge. So don't do that. But do positive reinforcements. Pat yourself on the back when you do a good job. Acknowledge it. Write it down in a book when you do something, and really be proud of yourself for that you've accomplished that change. Because, by the way, with cognitive behavioral therapy, hypnotherapy, hypnosis, any of this stuff is all step by step. It's time. It's not, right? Your changes happen over time and only according to how you want to change. So if you aren't willing to let go of your past, if you aren't willing to let go of your thought patterns, if you aren't willing to identify where you're being triggered, why you're being triggered, if you aren't willing to do any of that freaking work, you aren't growing. You aren't. So you can't expect somebody to help you if that's the case may be. But you want to do emotional regulations when you're doing some of that. So this is about identifying those emotions that are out of control, that are being triggered, that, you want to be able to label them accurately in your life and understand why they are there. That's what the CBT is doing for you. So it's going to help you to understand the connection between those thoughts that you had and your actions. And that's where you start to take responsibility for you, who you are. That's what it's going to do. So it's the cognitive reconstructing. Remember we discussed that? And then you're doing the behavioral strategies. You're sharing those practical techniques, your emotional self-regulations. You're going to do all of that stuff. The mindfulness, the meditation, the deep breathing. Yes, we got to do deep breathing too. It's all part of it. Deep breathing exercises can actually be used to reduce anxiety and stress. I'm sure all of you guys know this. That is also part of cognitive behavioral therapy, rapid transformational therapy. It's part of all of this stuff because you're going to be needing to get your body to relax so it can get to the right responses. That's what you want to do. It's about emotional labeling as well. So you were going to encourage you to start labeling your emotions and your experiences. So this act basically helps you to reduce the intensity of that emotion, of that moment, of all of those things. So you start to label it. It's really not that bad. Positive visualizations, again, what we do is within the hypnosis session itself, we help you to see the visualizations. We verbalize them on the audios that we give you. We help you when you're under hypnosis yourself. You tell us what you're seeing, what you want to see, what you feel, what you want to feel. And that's what we then implement into your mind as well. And that's where self-care comes in. Once you promote self-care activities such as regular exercise, adequate sleep, maintaining a balanced diet, your physical well-being is going to get better. And when your physical well-being gets better, so does your brain. And so I have a lot of people right now telling me that they've got all these physical issues, but these same people, they don't exercise at all. They're full of stress, so their life is full of stress. They don't have therapy, so they don't have anybody to talk the stress out with. Excuse me. They don't have anybody to talk about their stress with. And they are just they're rolling in it. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not eating right. They're eating a lot of sugar, a lot of fast food, a lot of restaurant garbage, and then they're wondering why their life is poo-poo. Your life is poo-poo because your choices are shitty. So there's that. So take responsibility for your choices. Start changing your life. And I had somebody come to me recently who's in the happiness journey group that we have, and they asked me, I thought this was about hypnosis. Why are you talking to me about health? Guys, did you know that what you put in your face, what you put in your body, what you eat, matters for your brain health too? Did you know that? Did you? Because I knew it. So here's the thing. Listen, if you put sugar in your brain, you're basically putting a cloud over your mind. So anytime you put sugar in your body, you're clouding your brain 100%. You're actually also activating your cancer cells in your body. So know that cancer eats sugar. It loves sugar. So stop eating sugar. Okay. But understand that the diet you eat, a lot of the food that's out right now on the shelves actually causes anxiety, depression, ADHD. It causes these things. And I've mentioned this in many videos before. The boxed foods that you're eating matters, okay? Blue boxes cause depression. Red box causes anxiety. Green boxes causes ADHD, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, and so on and so forth. So I'm not joking, you guys. The boxes color matters in the store. Anything that you're getting processed meat, anything in a can, anything in a box, all of that stuff is not real food and is causing anxiety. If you eat a lot of sandwich meats, you can guarantee you are going to have anxiety. That's what it causes within you. It causes anxiety. It causes also bad health. All of these sorts of things. And you need to understand that that's why in our happiness journey group, we are talking about your health too, what you're eating, how you're living your life, all of these things. Because guess what? I am not going to be your therapist and help you get rid of your mental health issues if you aren't also changing your life, practicing things. And yes, Bridget, thank you. And cancer. It does cause a lot of cancer. These bad foods, it causes cancer. The stress that you're holding in your body causes cancer. All of these sorts of things. So understand that what you're eating, the environment around you, all of these things affect up here. It's not just, ooh, I got abused as a child, or or my personality doesn't allow for me to relax or whatever. It isn't just about that. It's also about the food you eat. If you have a very unhealthy diet, you are causing these problems within yourself. I highly suggest you switch to raw vegetables. I'm getting so many hearts from Bridget. Thank you, Bridget. I highly suggest you guys switch to raw vegetables, fresh meats, and that's it. If you want sweets, you use honey, God's natured sugar. Use honey for any sweets that you need. That's what I do every night. I crave that sugar. So I have peanut butter and honey. I made myself some chocolate chip cookies, very low sugar chocolate chip cookies, almost no sugar. They're kind of gross. So what I did on the top of those cookies is I put some honey and some peanut butter, and I made myself a cookie sandwich. And that's my sweets for, thank you, Bridget. She's saying she loves the topics and I'm right on spot. Well, because you know what, our brains, they rely on what you're feeding it, right? And what you put in your mind, whether it be from the people around you, all their negative or positive thoughts, or the food you're eating, all that negative and positive stuff that's been that, it affects your mindset 100%. And that's why in my happiness journey group, we talk about all of this stuff. And so we're ending the call right now, guys, because it's been an hour. I've been talking for a full hour. But I want you to know, we have free, guys, cognitive behavioral therapy course called Figuring Yourself Out. It's available in my happiness journey group. So say below, happiness journey, baby. And I will hook you up with that group so you can get free access to this course and change your life. Okay, guys, that's what you want to do. Change your life. All you have to say is happiness journey, baby. You don't have to say baby, I'm just kidding. Happiness journey, and it's all yours. Okay, so just say that. We'll hook you up in our group. We'll get you started on all of that stuff. We'll get you eating right. We'll get you changing your whole life. We will help you grow, because that's what this is about. It's not just about hypnosis, guys. This is about changing your entire life so that you thrive in all aspects. Yay for Bridget. She's already saying happiness journey. Let's do this, you guys. Everybody, it's yours free today. And I'm getting off now, so I love all you guys. Giving big hugs. Give yourself a big hug too. And we'll talk soon.